Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. We're going to draw attention away from Scotland for this video. We're going to go to Wales. Wales has had a vote, and it's all to do with the safety and protection of children. Now, of course, Wales is predominantly Labour. The Socialists are in charge. And this is quite telling because it goes to show the dangers of socialism. Because Wales has had a good long look at the Cass review and decided that, yes, whilst it offers protection for children, and it's saying that children shouldn't be pushed down this one-way street, and that, yes, sure, 97.5% of children who present as transgender aren't, and that there is this huge industrial scale sterilisation industry going to make sure that little boys become little girls, presumably to help, entertain older men, that they would like to do something about it, but they're not prepared to do anything about it. And instead of taking these recommendations on board and protecting children and stopping them destroying their lives, they rejected it. And they said, no, in Wales, children will not be protected. Children will still be subjected to the most horrifying experimentation by mad doctors at the behest of trans housing parents and very strong, loud interest groups who want to utterly destroy these children's lives. That's what Labour in Wales are standing for. They want children screwed forever. Literally and figuratively, I suspect. You just cannot trust a socialist with children. Do not let anyone in the Senate in Wales anywhere near your kids. They have an unhealthy interest in sterilising them. Let's take a look. So, members of the Senate vote against adopting the recommendations of the Cass review. In other words, they don't want to protect children. They want children to continue to be mutilated, destroyed, sterilised, mengered, basically. In Wales is the spiritual home to the concentration camps and Dr. Mengeler's experiments on children. Well done, Scottish Labour. Sorry, well done, Welsh Labour. My apologies. But I don't suppose Scottish Labour would be any different if they were in charge. So what's happening in Wales is likely to happen in Scotland. And of course, once the Labour Party take over in the UK generally, it will be there. And so the Cass report will be cast into the bin and children will continue to be mutilated. And then, when they regret it a few years later, ending their lives at massive rates, some 20 times higher than the background rate. Not 20% more, 20 times more. That's how bad this is. The Senate has voted against a motion calling for the Welsh Government to accept the recommendations of a landmark report which found that NHS gender care for children had been based on weak evidence. And indeed, I've mentioned it before, there is not one single report that shows that that puberty blocking drugs are safe or reversible. The Cass review into NHS England Gender Identity Services for Children and Young People was published last month. It concluded that children who are confused about their gender have been let down by a lack of research and evidence. And indeed, we have evidence that these puberty blockers are handed out not by consultants, sometimes not even by doctors who aren't consultants, sometimes not even by nurses, sometimes just by people in the clinic, admin people. And then you've got this mad woman who trans-housed her child. Her son became a lady girl. And then she demanded that she was called a doctor. She's not a doctor. She can barely talk. She can barely read. But because she's got a trans son who likes to be called a girl's name now, she demanded within her charity Mermaids, which has subsequently got rid of her, thank God, but she demanded when she was going around these clinics and things that people called her doctor. I'd have told her to fuck off. You child-destroying monster. You harridan. Why would you do this to children unless there's something broken inside your head? Well, it seems that in the Labour Party, there's a lot of them with things broken inside their head. Research by the University of York, carried out alongside the report, found evidence to be severely lacking on the impact of puberty blockers and hormone treatments, while the majority of clinical guidelines were found not to have followed international standards. In other words, it's quackdockery with snake oil and all done as in an experiment to see, let's do this to kids and see what happens kind of way. Pushed, of course, by the loud weirdos of Stonewall. Yeah, destroy the kids' lives. We need numbers. Make them loud. Make us us. Look, you've got to accept us. No, we don't. I don't have to accept anything. Don't have to accept anything. You can shout loud, but I can shout louder. Dr. Hilary Cass said children questioning their gender identity have been caught up in a stormy social discourse in a debate that has become exceptionally toxic. In the Senate on Wednesday, that's yesterday, the Welsh Conservatives brought forward a debate calling on the Welsh Government to adopt recommendations of the Cass review. The debate was led by Shadow Social Justice Minister Laura Ann Jones. During her speech, she said it was appalling that requests for the Welsh Government to make a statement on the Cass review had so far been rejected. She said, in Wales, they were often silenced, professionals and parents alike told that their fears were baseless, bigoted and even hateful. Turns out they weren't. Turns out Cass got it right, and all these Labourists, all these weirdos, all these trans activists are all out there just purely to destroy children. And that's how we must look at them. The destroyers of children. No other way. Abuse. Absolutely abuse. And any government, parliament, council, anyone in authority who fails to stand up for the protection of children must be seen in the light of day for what they are. Monsters and child abusers. And that's it. And anyone who votes against this needs to be on a register, needs to be watched, and must never ever be left anywhere near children unobserved. Or indeed even observed. I wouldn't have them anywhere near. Stop voting these people in. Look to them. If you're a Labour voter in Wales, look to that person that you're about to vote in on the red rose and say, they don't want to protect my child. Do they deserve my vote? Think before you vote. I'll stop there. I'll come up and we'll round off the video. Now, the problem with Scotland is you've already got a government that's thinking exactly like that. We know that the SNP are pro-child abuse. Absolutely. Tell me how you feel when you're touching yourself, little 8-year-old, little 4-year-old. You know, hey, let's have the 5-year-olds writing down what they think about their gender and their sexuality. This is genuine. I'm not making this shit up. Genuine. That's the SNP now. And you can see from Wales, if Labour get in, do you think it's going to change? Both these people, all to the left, all absolutely obsessed with sex and children. Stop voting for them. For God's sake, stop voting these peds into power. Thank you very much for watching. Do please hit the subscribe button. Leave a like, leave a comment. Bloody well, leave me a comment on this one. Till next time, stay safe, stay well, and I will speak to you later. And boy will I. Thanks a lot. Bye.